So here we have F9 evaluating logarithms using properties. It's about 11:30 at night. Still going here. It's mainly for my pre-calc kids. But if you're in YouTube, I'm working late for you too. So we're supposed to evaluate, write your answer as a whole number, proper fraction or improper fraction. And I kind of want to teach this a little bit old school. I will show you how to do it in a calculator, obviously, but I really want to do this old school. When I look at this thing, and I really hope that people will get to this point where they understand logarithms because it makes it so much easier. This is a logarithm with an understood base of 10, and its argument is 1/1000th. And what it is asking what power of 10 is equal to 1/1000. So when I see the number 1/1000, what I do is I think that's 1/10 cubed. And then I think about my rules of exponents that say I can shift that 10 cubed up top, and I can make that 10 to the -3rd power. So it turns out the answer is -3. Now I'm really tired, it's late at night, kids are sick, keeping me up. Wife is sick too, so I got no help. I had to sneak up here after everybody's in bed. You could also just kind of get your way through this in a calculator. You could use your change of base form. A logarithm base b of a is equivalent to, and I love the natural log one, the natural log of a over the natural log of b. And that's what I'm going to do in TI-84. What is it? Honestly though, I don't even know why I'm talking about that because I'm tired. You have a log button on your calculator, don't you? You can literally type log 1/1000. But the problem with the calculator is you're missing that understanding of what it's asking you to do. That's the issue. And I just don't like that. But anyways, that's a rant from a math teacher who just wishes that people understood math. I'm not the best at math. I'm pretty good at this subject. That's why I teach it. Here's an evaluate. Write your answer as a whole number, proper fraction, or improper fraction. So this one isn't too bad. We had a previous property that said that 70 can be thrown out front. If you've watched any of my previous lessons, and I'll write this again, but the natural log of e is always, I mean always, there's no exception to this, 1. So that natural log of e becomes 1, and now I'm just looking at 70/5, and 70/5 should be 14. Should be. Seems right, okay? And, you know, to be honest with you, if you're just one of those kids that's in pre-calc and you're just really not the best with numbers, you could have typed that function in. That was the natural log of e to the 70th power. I'm pretty sure a TI-84 can do this. Shouldn't have a problem. And it was all divided by 5. And I've got an older TI-84 up here. Some of you guys have that fraction button on your calculator, makes it easier. 14, told you so. Wasn't kidding. So this is looking, well, that's kind of funky. I've never asked a kid a question like that. Maybe I should. A logarithm base 1/3 of 1/27th. So I'm going to go again back to what it's asking. It's asking what power of 1/3 is equal to 1/27th. And the answer to that is to cube the blasted thing. It's 3. Now, how might you do this in a TI-84? There's lots of ways to do this in TI-84. I like to teach that change of base. I tried to teach that again earlier. I like to teach as the natural log of a over the natural log of b. That's how I like to teach it, okay? For kids who don't like typing things horizontally, your TI-84s, all of them have this under math. Go to math, num, because that's how you feel. If you hit the up arrow, you'll get straight to it, n/d, that's numerator over denominator. Drag this another way. This would be the natural log of the 27th divided by the natural log of a 3rd. And I said it was 3, and I was right. And again, calculators are wonderful, but you just don't understand what's going on. But you know, in Algebra 2, we have to teach this. We have to teach it. So many kids have such deficits when it just comes to computations. I'm going to skip that one. It was just like the last one. Cheat with J84 if you want. This one, there is no power of 9 that equals 33. At least there's no whole power of number 9. So it's not easy to answer. You can't think 9 to what power is 33. It's something between 1 and 2, right? Because 9 squared is 81, 9 to the first is 9. Maybe it's like 1.236. I don't know. It's something small. So we have to go to our T84 and we type in ln 33 over ln 9. I want to show you something else too, because you're thinking maybe I don't know about it. I swear to you, I do know about it. Natural log of 33 divided by natural log of 9. Looks like this. If you're using an older 82 or 83 to do this, you're not going to see it. But if you have an 84 silver edition or higher, maybe you've got a nice color edition, you'll have this option. You can go to Math. I think it's on the main screen there, log base. Math log base. And you can literally type in things the way they're written. You know, if the change of base formula is too much for you, you can do this, but you need to learn the change of base formula because it's very useful at times. Anyways, you get the same thing. They want 1,000th, which is a third decimal, so 1.591. I need to double check that. I am fatigued. 1.591. So do this one the same way, however you like to do it. You're supposed to evaluate this expression. You could legit type this in a calculator if you want. What we want as math teachers is for you to condense the logarithm. We want you to think of this as a logarithm base 4 that contains 2 over 128, which can be thought of as a logarithm base 4 that contains 1/64th. And again, what we hope is that you understand the message the logarithm is trying to tell you. It says what power of 4 is equal to 1/64. And the answer to that is obviously -3. 4 to the -3rd power is 1/64. Obviously, right? Obviously. You know, you go ask any person in America, you go ask 99.95% of the population of this country to do that, and they would just look at you like you hurt their feelings because they don't know. Maybe you're different. Here's another condensing. Subtraction is condensed through division. I like problems like this. Log base 8. Sorry, tired. Logarithm base 6, whose argument would be 8/48. And as bad as that 8 looks, 8/48 reduces down to 1/6. Log base 6 of 1/6. And again, what this is asking is what power of 6 is equal to 1/6. And here's another one of those obviously's. It's 6 to the -1st. So the answer has to be -1. Could you actually type this in a calculator? Yes, you could. You could legit do this. I could go to Math, log base B, and you know, some kids got to do this on the ACT. If you got a TI-84 and they ask you something like this, honest to God, it takes longer to type this in than to do it by hand, because if you're doing it by hand, you know your numbers pretty well. If you're not doing it by hand, you don't. And I'm going to get the same answer. It's going to tell me -1. So there you go, kids. That's how you do that, if you want to cheat. Using my properties of logarithms here, before I can condense, I have to put that 3 there. This is a log base 9 of 3 cubed plus a log base 9 of 3. I can condense addition through multiplication. a log base 9 of 3 cubed times 3. And this is a log base 9 that contains 3 to the 4th, which should be a big number that I'm really too tired to do right now. It'd be it's 9 times, it's 81. I don't know what's wrong with me. 81, right? So anyways, power of 9 equal to 81 is 2. I need to bump ahead. I have spent too much time on this thing for what I've got left to do tonight. I have a lot left to do tonight. I need to get all this done for my pre-calc kids. This doesn't look any different. This doesn't look hard at all. That's 2, well, you know what's here is that understood base. We have a log of a 10 squared. Take away a log of a 10, which is kind of silly, by the way. I'll just work with it. We can condense this through division. There's a reason I said this is silly. This is 1. All day long, that's 1. And this is going to be 2. This is actually 2 minus 1, which is 1. I'll explain where I came from that in just a minute. This becomes a log 10 squared over 10 of 10. Now, I was alluding to how silly this question was, because a logarithm of base 10, whose argument is 10, has to be 1, because it's saying what power of 10 creates a 10. And that's another one of these things that's kind of understood. Log 10 is always 1, just the way it is. Log 10 is always 1. So this expression right from the get-go was 2 minus 1. That's all it was. So I can't believe that this is a level 5 question. Well, I can because I teach math, so I do understand it. Log base 4 of 3 plus log base 4 of 32 minus log base 4 of 24. We are permitted in the realm of logarithms to condense addition through multiplication and subtraction through division. So all I have to do is simplify those numbers. That's it. Nothing more. I'll kind of multiple step it for you because I don't want to lose you. But 3 over 24 is 1 over 8. Okay, 32 over 8 is 4. And here's that one of those silly ones. It's 1. So I believe I'm making my Algebra 2 kids memorize this year. I hope it sticks with them. But I make my students memorize this rule. A logarithm of any base in the world who has the same argument as that base is always 1. So that's something I try to get my kids to memorize. A lot of them don't, obviously, but it's kind of useful. It speeds things up. And I'm going to stop here. That's enough time on this one. I don't see anything in this thing being too difficult for y'all to figure out. So have fun on that one. That was F9.